What's up, bro? Chachos. All right. It's Friday. That doesn't mean anything to me because I'm self-employed and there's no opera going on right now. But I hear that it's the day of the week that a lot of people look forward to. So, let us celebrate Friday. What's up, y'all? We're waiting. You know what I should do? Got this microphone here. Maybe I'll just talk into it and see if that gets more people to check it out or to think that I'm saying something profound. You know, if they can only see the screen, then I'm gonna realize it's not plugged in anything. All right, the two of you who are here, please identify yourselves because it's not showing me who's coming through yet. The three of you. All right, and then we're going to start talking about what I want to talk about, which is, what did I say? I'm pretty sure I said setting the standard, right? Let me get this also going on the Computale. Yeah, your world will change when you set your standard. I was right. Let me see if maybe this will help me to see who's on here. You guys are gonna wait a couple more minutes. Oh no, shut up, idiot, crazy person. All right, we're down to one. I gotta bring my microphone back. If you are watching this, give me a shout. Just type something in the comments, and we can continue. I mean, the show will go on because the show must go on, but hey, what happens if I hit share broadcast? Maybe I'll start putting on a mask. I'll use these other things that are in here. Mystery mask. Why isn't it putting it on? God, I feel like this is how my mother must feel when she uses technology. Okay, so your world changes when you set a standard. What the fuck does that? There it is. There it is. It's faster than it usually is. It's pretty quick. Sorry, Mom. Okay. What the frick does that mean? Your world is going to change when you set the standard. When you set your standard. You always think that where you're at is good. You will just adapt to anything. As in, here's an example. Actually multiple times in my life. I've been in really good shape, just been jacked and lean and strong, and by all accounts, really look like I know what I'm talking about. And you know what? I felt like I knew what I was talking about. I was like, yeah, I don't have anything to learn. Dude, are you kidding me? My form is perfect, and I know exactly how to eat, and I know shit, look. And more than just shit, look, I was like, wow, I feel like I know it. Okay, so one, instances that come to mind. Aspen CrossFit, a visiting instructor or coach was doing a WOD, and there was a bunch of push-ups, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking knock this out. Oh, there's two. Sorry, Mom. I'm gonna freaking knock this out, doing these push-ups, crushing it, and she was like, your form sucks. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me, lady? What are you talking about? She was like, point your elbows in. So sure enough, I did what she said. I went from doing wide-ass push-ups to shit push-ups like this to having them a little bit more in. And I was like, I felt better. I did more. Okay. Then I think, same lady, maybe different lady, also visiting coach, was like, yo, hey, that's not an overhead press. That's half of a push press. I was like, lady, what are you talking about? I am so strong. I got it. And she was like, no, you're using your legs. Like, that looks terrible. And I was like, okay. And then I really did it. I was like, oh my God, I've been doing this wrong the entire time. Or not wrong. There's like another level that I did not realize. Okay, let's go into singing. It's a big problem. Not a big problem, but I feel like there are so many people, and I'm definitely one of them, who's been guilty of this. And then I just, hear from other people. Seneca Clee, dude, talking to you on this one. One of many who's like, no. I just I gotta get ready. I gotta fix one or two more things, and then I'll audition, then I'll do this, then I'll take my big shot. And no, dude, just do it now. You're already ready. But we just get trapped into this thing of thinking no, I gotta get on it. I got something more to do. But then you also at the same time sometimes hear yourself and you're like, I am God's gift. I'm the best baritone that's ever lived. And there's a lot of other times where you're like, I'm total trash. Whatever. Point is, none of that is true. Because 5 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, okay, I'm better than I remember myself being. Because I remember myself being total ass there. I remember just sucking. I remember feeling like, damn, I suck. Or listening back to this same recording and being like, oh, dude, you had to sing it like that? Ugh. And you go through and you learn a couple other things about singing, or you change your ears, or something happens, and you're just like, I feel like I've been wasting my time up until this point. I can't believe that I was singing like that for the past this. The reality is that no, you were always doing good. Your standard was just different. Your standard for what you were thinking about for technique was different. Your standard for what sounded good was different, just because your ears were different and you were a different person. But if you don't have a standard in place, then you are just blindly throwing things and energy into space. So even if your standard or your technique or your technique, this would be applied to singing and also lifting or whatever you're doing. If you're just doing it, you can do it wrong, but with technique, with intent, able to recreate it, able to explain it, able to identify it. If you don't have any of that, then you're just a mess, and then you have no standard. So what I've noticed in my own life, what I see happening, or what I point out in some of the people that I work with, what I have people point out to me, what I pay people to point out to me, are places where I am operating, just expending energy without any sort of standard or technique or some structure or goal or end thing or process even in mind. So when you set a standard in one area, that area explodes, it freaking changes. Even if you get not even into the standard of pedagogy. This is how a lift looks, this is how you do a lift, this is how you sing a thing. If you just get into the standard of what is quality, start thinking about that. Because there's different, that's the zoomed in lens, the pedagogy, that's the zoomed in lens of the standard. The zoomed out lens is just overall, do we like this thing? Is it good from a 30,000 foot view? Is this up to standard, yes or no? And if you take that 30,000 foot view and I'm going to use it because it's literal and it's because I know it well and I spend a lot of time in it. And it's been an effective one for me. From that 30,000 view, you're like, you are out of shape as fuck. You don't look on the outside the way that you feel on the inside, the way that you see the world. There's a huge incongruency there. So, you're not bad, you just haven't looked there, you haven't set a standard, or same thing with singing. But you think that you know best because you just convince yourself that you know best, or that where you're at is the best that it could be, or that it can't get any better. So the standard also has to be kind of malleable. Like it's got to be an always moving goalpost, sort of like flattening the curve. It's an ever moving goalpost. You know, 6 months ago, it's supposed to be 2 weeks. Whoa. But maybe they're just onto something. They're just vibrating higher for longer than we are. They knew that that process mattered more in this way than the result. Y'all, let me know if what I'm saying is making sense, or if I sound crazy. Ben Lapago, he says, "Hey, Brad Pink Handsome, what's up, bro? But sometimes it's hard to get rid of silent analysis with yourself with singing. It's constantly changing and never ending. It is a roller coaster of technique and emotional judgment." Yeah, I know. I think there's a lot that you packed in there, dude. I mean, number one, and this is another ongoing thing, is you just got to remove the emotional judgment from it. The sooner that you can objectively be like, oh, that singing sucks, but I'm not my singing. That singing is not me. It's what I did right there. I didn't turn that note, and it was loud and a little bit flat. Or it was a splat and a little bit flat. Whoops. Got more indulgent with the sensation I was feeling and what I was hearing. I was jerking off instead of singing. Well, okay, but that's not you. You're not a jerk off. You jerked off in that moment. Something like that. Just remove that. It's hard to do. Same thing with weight. I'm not fat. I just am. This body, like this part of me has fat because I didn't set a standard, or because I focused on something else. I mean, there's just a million different reasons. There's a million different layers, a million different viewpoints. And I think maybe the big ultimate the TLDR is admit that you know nothing, actively seek from the best, brightest, most interesting, that vibe with you in the field, in the area of the curiosity. Seek out perspective from the people who know more than you, and then seek an alternate perspective. Find alternatives. TLDR, Ben, is too long, didn't read. Seek out the best and then find alternatives. Write it down, like stay present and stay self-analyzing. Stay self-loving but self-critical about whatever it is, whatever that thing is that you're doing. You know, like I'm learning the sweet science, that's what they call boxing. I'm learning dabbling in boxing. I should be keeping like a little journal. I write it anyway. I might mention something about it, but something having to do with just thoughts that I have about, technique there. Because it's really complicated. Really complicated. I feel friggin' stupid. I mean, I feel almost like more uncoordinated or whatever there than I have in many a dance class. Which your boy has taken a lot of. I think I spent half of the last time that I took dance class was for a production, and I spent half of the money that I made from that contract on dance class. Now, is that about how much I was paid, or is that about how much the dance classes, how many dance classes I took? Who knows? It was worth it though. It was a good time. It was me and a bunch of like old ladies. It was like if my mom's water class. My mom has been teaching a Saturday morning water aerobics class to some friends for like quarter decade plus. And I feel like all these ladies were the same age when I was a kid. 100. But even if they were 45, now they would be like 70. If they were 60 when I met them, now they would be old. Now you'd be 85. So it was me and a bunch of 85-year-old ladies in there pointing, doing ballet. What I'm saying makes sense? Let me know, y'all. I think I've said what I need to say. I mean, really, if I go any deeper, like, it's never going to end. I could keep on explaining this forever. Or rather, like, keep on thinking about it and having new ways of expressing it or new ideas around that forever, which I guess is good for me, because then I can talk at this screen a million times. Especially for me and my weight, I'm always making excuses and have so many layers that need to get worked through to get better results. Sometimes I just need to ask for help. And I need to get working on my body like the way I work on my voice. Yeah, dude, but it's hard till we get wrapped up into so many different, there's like so many different parts that make up the person. And then each one of those has so many different stories and so many different things with it. And then so many of those are not ones, are chains rather than like, oh Jesus, God, that's really corny when I think of it. Chains rather than like wings. They hold you rather than like propel you. So in order to make something as simple as like, I need to lose weight, I need to treat it like this. It is as simple as that, but it's not as easy as that. And inside of that simple, it's really like, well, no, now you gotta like get into the weeds and like cut a bunch of these cords of stories and either leave the empty space and just get rid of what was bad and or install some new ones that serve. And that's detailed work that requires a lot of grit and a lot of maturity, strength, and courage and clarity. That if you want to get it done that way, if you need to get it done that way, you know, not everybody has that. So, dude, it's not that simple. I mean, it can be that simple. Or you can just bypass all of that, Ben, and just be like, oh, instead of thinking that all of these things are different, look, dude, what if you thought about this? What if your voice and your weight aren't any different? They're not any different. The way that you sing and the body composition that you have is not any different. Because it's just like a vowel or a part of your voice that you just haven't examined. You know, like I realized that for me, I had not really set the standard of what happens from B natural through E flat. I thought that I had, and I thought that I had a relationship, but in fact, it was very, very, very neglected. So, dude, what if instead of being like, oh, like I've neglected this whole area of my life, it's really like, well, no, you just neglected this one area of your body. You just neglected or this one area of your voice. You neglected your E vowel for so long that now your E vowel is just this formless thing. The rest of your voice is great, but you just got to pay that E vowel some attention. So when you say like, I need to get working on my body like I work on my voice. No, dude, it's already your voice is your body and your body is your voice. We can bypass all that nitty gritty wire cutting if you just attach it to a stronger story. Right? Like, I'm working on my mind, I'm working on my stress, I'm working on my body, I'm trying not to get the coronavirus. All these things go together to do one thing. They're not all separate things. And don't think of them like, oh, I gotta like run all over town to do this. Think of it like you're in school. Look, like when we were in school, took friggin' art class, and then you had to run to English class, and then you had to go to studio classes. God, it's been so long. What did I take? Okay, hold on. Let me just go through like what was like the last or like one of the worst semesters at DU. It would be like have an 8 a.m. piano, then have to go to coding in the middle of the campus, then have to go back for a voice lesson, then have to run from that voice lesson to like English 101 with a bunch of like God, just under bleak fluorescent lights while the beautiful weather of Denver is just crisply out there. It's a bunch of kids who are like 5 years younger than you, and half of them they speak English, but they won't speak any English to the teacher just to throw the teacher a fucking curveball. Sorry, that's 3. Sorry, Mom. Like back to back to back, and your voice teacher is like granting you, 5-10 extra minutes of like knowledge and work, and you're like, oh God, this is what I came here for. But if that 10 minutes was my whole journey out of this building and across, and then into my seat across the campus. Oh, but this is what I came here for. Shit. That's like, but I'm working out, and then I'm taking my Italian lessons, and I'm going to my day job, and I'm working, and I'm doing all this, and then I got to be here with my wife and my dad. Yeah. That would be really frustrating. But what if it's like, no, this is like a conservatory of your life. And you're just like, I go here, and it's all under one roof where the standard is excellence. And so the standard is excellence in curiosity and constantly seeking improvement and new perspective in all of those areas, so that they make them all, they all work together more efficiently, more interestingly. They get more done, and they learn more about each other. Because I promise there is so much more connection between the quest to get a perfect kettlebell swing and the quest to sing a perfect legato line have way more in common. Or they are rather they are much more similar. They're much more alike than they are different. Oh, did I just give it away? This is not plugged in. This is just for show. All right, my friends. Ben, dude, thank you for spurring my my imagination in that direction, and for helping me to explain that like that. I appreciate it. I'm going to use that a lot. Joe Karch. Oh, bro, what's up, my old friend? Hey, what's up, Carlos Alvarez? Good to see you, man. Duncan, what's up, dude? What's up, Kevin Fitzgerald? Kevin, why don't you change your name to like Kevin Ella Fitzgerald and just throw people and be like, oh my God, is he really? I think that was his aunt. No. Yes. Just throw people. Be like, yeah, it's like kind of like the Kennedys. Like we're just sort of like named that. Isn't there a thing on like YouTube that's like that sound? Like people will just like spend hours like fascinated by sounds like that. The sound of like scruff rubbing. Or I guess if this thing was actually plugged in, you'd hear it. All right. Oh, Mike Defabot, what's up, bro? Mike, I'm about to log off. Good to see you though. Miss seeing you. Max Torres-on. What's up, homie? All right, guys, we out of here. Let me know if what I'm saying makes sense. I love y'all.